Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And I figured I would start off this video talking about a big issue that I see around this space. So going all the way back to when Gary Gensler got into the chairman position at the SEC, I remember everyone was so excited about it because of his MIT speeches. Everyone thought he was going to be very beneficial for the space, and he turned out to be a major problem. I see this issue happening all the time around these agencies like the SEC. I even said over on Twitter, they are all corrupt. Biggest issue is that no matter who walks through those doors at the SEC, it will be the same story. These agencies are cesspools of corruption. They all need to be abolished. They don't care about the general public or their interests. I talked about this. The SEC only really cares about power, greed, and giving away all of that, power around the space to Wall Street and the big bankers. They are protecting the big bankers. They do not care at all about you or me. But Hester Peirce has been one that a lot of people have confided in, that thinking that she's going to be beneficial for the, entire industry and, all this because of, what she has been saying in the past couple months and years. To me, I think it's all talk. I think it's all talk, just like we've seen many times in the past. Here is Mr. Huber himself posting this video. He's basically talking about how she is, working with Lubin, if you will, or at least, she knows his overall language here. And, we do see that Joe himself actually talked about his token, if you will, their ICO. It's calling it token distribution events back in 2018. It's been 6 years and Peirce is still working on her safe harbor. She's at best totally incompetent and at worst a corrupt red herring. I think that she is corrupt. I think that they are all corrupt at the SEC, just like every single other government agency. But listen closely.
Sure. Well, about a year ago, I put out a proposal that would give a little bit of comfort to people trying to do a token distribution event. The idea is that there are a lot of projects that have gotten fairly far down the road and they're ready to launch the network and distribute the tokens, but there's uncertainty about whether that event would actually be a securities offering under US law. And so the idea was to allow a little bit of a period where you don't have to really answer that question. And so the token distribution event could happen. The developers would put out certain information, make available to the public certain information about the project, about the token economy and other relevant factors. And they would be subject to the anti-fraud laws, so they couldn't lie about that. And they'd have 3 years to develop the network, get it to a point where it was decentralized, so it didn't make sense to collect information from one centralized party anymore, or the token was being used as, as a utility token. So I think for tokens in the DeFi world, this could be useful. I don't think it's solely useful for that application, but I think certainly DeFi tokens could take advantage of this. I'm working on on sort of refreshing that safe harbor, and we're about to get a new chair at the SEC, and so I'm hoping to present the safe harbor to him and suggest that he do pursue something like it. If not, I'm not wedded to that, but I think we need to provide some clarity for people trying to develop these networks.
Thanks a lot. Yes, and we'll definitely.
So yeah, it appears that Ethereum for the longest time has always been protected. I'll talk about that in this video as well, which is of course, Ethereum free pass that we've been addressing for so long. But we do see there she is on a panel with a guy who has given more regulatory guidance in the name of the SEC than she ever has herself as a commissioner. A guy who calls the SEC officials his good friends and was recorded on video calling to defraud the public. Yeah, this is an individual that has been, for the longest time working against all other tokens that come into competition with Ethereum. Like, what we are seeing here is a big issue, and it's all centered out on corruption. Also over here, from Digital Asset Investor, Part 1, Fireside Chat, Ethereum co-founder and Consensus CEO Joe Lubin. September 17th, 2018. Why did the SEC give Ethereum a free pass? Who reviewed and helped write the Hinman speech? Who was on the 63 emails? Where is Hinman's public calendar? Who at the SEC owned Ethereum on June 13th, 2018? All of these questions we need answers to, but listen closely.
Nobody at the SEC wants to kill blockchain for America. They also want to enforce the laws that they've been enforcing effectively for decades, protecting consumers. So they need to take a balanced approach. They need to message things positively, in my opinion. But there's also, I think, going to be even more of a reckoning coming where certain projects obviously sold securities and sold them contrary to securities law.
Jay Clayton made it clear that nobody was going to be grandfathered. Or...
Yeah, absolutely. So Jay Clayton said that. Bill Hinman, Director of Corporate Finance at the SEC, after they declared Bitcoin sufficiently decentralized so that it's not a security and put Ether in that category as well, the token on Ethereum. In that same set of remarks about Ether, he indicated that the SEC is very aware that there is a new model.
So yeah, I mean, like, this is an individual that has been working closely with the SEC, and I would argue on very good terms. We know Ripple was in discussions with the SEC for so long, and it seems as though, there was never any issues, but hey, Ripple got targeted. So it begs the question, like, why is Ethereum still, not, there's like no heat at all on Ethereum. Like, there has never been major questioning of Ethereum. There was never questions around Ethereum being a security or a currency up until recently with the proof of stake move. What's wild to me is like how long Ethereum has gotten this free pass. I mean, it really does beg the question, like, why was XRP targeted out of any other token? Ethereum literally had an ICO. Like, it's crazy to me. And then also over here, one day before the Hinman Ethereum free pass speech, who helped Hinman write the speech? Who is in those 63 emails passed around the speech? Where's Hinman's public calendar? Where is Congress on this? Listen closely to this. This is Jay Clayton himself talking about a few things and also damning evidence around Ethereum.
That technology people have used to apply to fundraising.
Okay, so I'll talk a bit about the funding model. So we will have a fundraiser for 2 months starting February 1st. It will be available at funds.ethereum.org.
Fundraising is older than the commission. But since the commission has been in existence, we've had pretty clear, I'll say very clear.
I think it's kind of just like reasonably clear. I would say very clear.
Well, one area where the chair and I think, don't see eye to eye is the lack of clarity around when something is or is not a security.
But I've lived it for a long time. Rules on how to conduct fundraising when you're offering securities.
So the idea is that part of the initial issuance will be 1,000 Ether for 1 Bitcoin, or up to 2,000 Ether for 1 Bitcoin if you get in early to compensate for the increased risk.
Much of what I have seen in the, quote, ICO or token or ICO space is a securities offering. It is raising money for a project where I give you my money, you give me some type of right back that reflects a return on your project. That's a securities offering.
So the issuance model is that we will fundraise, suppose that we hand out X Ether through the fundraiser.
And I don't know how much more clear I can be about it. There are 2 ways to do a securities offering. You can do a private placement or you can do a public offering. We've built a $19 trillion economy, an economy that's the envy of the world, equity capital markets that are the envy of the world following those rules. I expect people to follow them.
When we look at Bitcoin or if we look at Ether and the highly decentralized nature of the networks, we don't see a third-party promoter where applying the disclosure regime would make a lot of sense. So
again, as we do look at all of these individuals here, like, you could see it. To me personally, I think all of them are corrupt. I think that they are all on some type of payroll. I don't know if they are, collecting money. I don't know what's happening here, but someone is getting paid off, and there's a lot of corruption here. The SEC bleeds corruption. Now, Why do I think that this is very important to note from an XRP holder standpoint? It's very simple, right? Let's go back in time. Let's go all the way back to the, actual announcement of this lawsuit, December 22nd, 2020. Why is this important? Well, I'll show you why. First off, for those out there that don't know, the XRP ledger has been around for a while, going all the way back to June of 2012. Now, during this time, we haven't seen XRP listed on CoinMarketCap historically on the snapshots up until around August 4th of 2013. Ever since XRP has been on CoinMarketCap, because again, this is historical snapshots here, XRP has always been a top 10 token. And for the longest time, if you actually go through these historical snapshots, you could see the life cycle of XRP and how it has performed. It's been a number 2 asset for a lot of this time, ever since around roughly, I would say, like 2015. So if we actually look here and we go through, here's XRP, the number 2 largest asset for months, and I mean months at a time. Now, again, if I was a token and if I was trying to create, something much larger than any other token out there, and I seen XRP being, this extremely large token in the space that's holding a large amount of value, and it's, in the top 10, so it's been in the top 10 for so long, and I see how much work Ripple, a company, is doing to utilize XRP as well. Not saying that they are creating value for XRP, because they really aren't. And I see how large XRP could essentially become. I would be terrified of that. And all throughout history of XRP, it technically has outperformed Ethereum. I mean, I'm not going to complain about that. Is anybody else going to complain about that? Well, you shouldn't, unless, you are working for Ethereum or with Ethereum. Here is the historical snapshot of January 7th, 2018. This was right around the time that XRP was topping out. It was holding roughly about half of the market cap of Bitcoin. A very large amount of market cap, if you will. Its price at this time was almost $3.40, and it was still outperforming Ethereum. It was the number 2 largest crypto asset. If we go back to the time when the lawsuit was announced on both charts of Ethereum and XRP, we could see that a day later, Ethereum bottomed out. It took a little bit of time until XRP actually bottomed out roughly December 29th of 2020. Now, during this time, yes, XRP still outperformed Ethereum, technically speaking, if we go to the all-time high of Ethereum. But if we go off of the March of 2020 lows, we know that Ethereum did about roughly a 50 plus X return. So it did outperform XRP. XRP did about roughly a 16X return during this entire time of 2020 to 2021. So yes, Ethereum did finish out the year, if you will, outperforming XRP. XRP is still lower on the CoinMarketCap list right now, currently speaking. We go all the way back to around roughly, I think like it was May, somewhere around this time is when most of these assets did top out. But we all know that Ethereum did outperform XRP. XRP's price action was stifled greatly. We see Ethereum is now the number 2 largest asset, holding about roughly $218 billion in market cap. A lot of people believe that Ethereum is actually going to outperform Bitcoin next cycle to be the number 1 token within this space. It's interesting, to see if that's going to be the case or not, because I think all throughout this time right now, if we are looking at this market, it's truly remarkable to go back in time and actually compare these two. Because if there was no lawsuit, I think everyone out there, whether you are an XRP holder or not, is probably questioning where would have XRP went in price potential. I think that's very simple to do the math here. I mean, like if we look at Ethereum's all-time high hit it roughly around $583.5 billion market cap. If XRP had that market cap today, it would be sitting at about roughly $11.25. $11.25 off of, we'll say, I think it's hard to say where XRP would have bottomed out during this time, but we'll just go all the way back to the March of 2020 lows. So here we have XRP March 2020 lows. Here's the coordinates. So if we are going to $11.25, XRP would have did a monstrous 97x return. Now, to some people, you might be questioning, well, why would it have done that return? Don't you think that that's a little ridiculous? Not really, considering the fact that Ethereum did about a 54x return. And historically, XRP does outperform Ethereum. So to me, I think that a 97x return off of the March of 2020 lows is not too crazy to think of. And I think that that is where we probably would have went. It also makes the argument of a $10 XRP even more logical today than ever before. But again, a lot of people will come out of the woodwork and say, market cap, market cap, market cap. But nobody was screaming market cap when Ethereum did it, right? This is the biggest problem that I see with this space, is that a lot of people always argue that XRP can't go here, XRP can't go there because of market cap. But when we look at Ethereum, Ethereum was hand-fed this market. Ethereum was also hand-fed, a lot of things in the past, going all the way back to the Hinman speech, for an example. We never hear about XRP. XRP was never talked about until it was scrutinized fully. Yes, before the lawsuit, there was discussions around if XRP was a currency or a security, but for the most part, it was in favor of Ethereum this entire time. And I could see why. It doesn't really take much to see why Ethereum was given the free pass. It doesn't make, a lot of sense to even argue here that, hey, there is corruption. Because if you are arguing against corruption here, then I would argue that you are an Ethereum maxi, or maybe you think that XRP is, extremely competitive versus Ethereum. But to me, the corruption is here. It's blatant. It's very clear to me on how corrupt the SEC has been during this entire time. And like I said, Ethereum was hand-fed this market. And it did very well. I mean, I'm not going to argue. Listen, Ethereum today still holds about 20% of market dominance. But I do question on where would XRP be today if there was no SEC lawsuit? Because it's still number 6. It's still delisted on major exchanges. It's still scrutinized to hell. I mean, the reputation around XRP, a lot of people still think that XRP is a security. I bring XRP up in a lot of discussions with individuals outside of crypto. A lot of people still know about XRP. I mean, listen, if you know crypto, if you've been following crypto for a long time, you know of XRP. I just shared with you guys multiple weeks of where XRP was in the top 5 at least, and it was the number 2 largest asset for so long during 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, even 2018, and then even during 2019, 2020. And then into 2021, a lot of things have changed, right? But we know XRP is a very large asset. A lot of people know about XRP. But anytime that I bring XRP up in conversation, the biggest thing is, are they still in that lawsuit with the SEC? Is XRP a security? Isn't XRP a security? These are the types of conversations that I see. And, that's what I mean. Reputation here around XRP is the fact that XRP is a security. So I do question. I question where XRP would be today. I question where XRP would have went in 2021. A lot of people want to sit around and say, oh, well, XRP is still trading at about 46 cents. If we still had, all right, we'll say, because right now Ethereum is still sitting at about roughly $220 billion market cap. Imagine if that was the market cap of XRP still today. Look at this. This would have been a $4.22 XRP. If we go back in time to Ethereum and we even look at Ethereum's all-time high from 2017, 2018, okay, we are still trading at a significant level above that area. It's about 24%. Even if we were trading above 24% of the all-time high on XRP, which would have been roughly anywhere between, it's like about $4.14 or so. So it's right around the same level here. I think XRP would still hold about $200 billion in market cap right now. Because again, for the longest time, XRP was the number 2 largest asset. This is what we are fighting for. This is why the Hinman documents are so important, because we know for a fact that XRP was discussed. We never hear XRP being mentioned in any of these videos. We never hear anything about XRP in these videos. So I do question, what type of XRP conversations were happening behind closed doors? What was being said about XRP? Did the question ever come up around XRP versus Ethereum? Was there any discussions around how Ethereum is, being outperformed by XRP? What kind of conversations were happening during these times? That's what we want to know. And a lot of these questions are on why did the SEC give Ethereum a free pass? Who reviewed and helped write the Hinman speech? Who was on the 63 emails? Where's Hinman's public calendar? Where are all of these? We want to know this because from an overall viewpoint, yes, the XRP community has been screwed. We have been screwed over a lot worse than any other token in the space. And also, Also, the biggest problem that I see around this entire space as well is the fact that there's a lot of XRP holders out there that were betting big on XRP during 2020 and 2021, and the SEC completely screwed those people over. These are the same investors that they sought out to protect. So yes, do I think that we need to know the answers to these questions? Do I think that these questions are very important? 100%. I want to see Congress step in. I want to see Congress, actually put in work instead of actually just saying, oh, hey, let's talk. Because that's what we've seen at these hearings so far. It's just discussions and talks. Talk is cheap. I want to see actions being taken here. I want to see actions being taken around the SEC. And ultimately, I do hope that the SEC does get abolished, because I don't think, and I don't believe anyone around the SEC is going to be beneficial for crypto. I just don't see it. I don't see it. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'd love to hear all your thoughts. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely hit that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night. Wherever you guys are on this beautiful world, it's been Nick. Peace out, guys.